Shalom Aleichem Mitzpe Yericho family. Thank you so much for this opportunity again to share words of Torah, B'schus Am Yisrael and the Chayalim, that we should see Yeshuos v'nechamos very, very soon. As we turn our attention to Sefer Shemos, which we're about to start this coming week, the Ramban famously tries to develop certain themes that thread throughout all the Sefer Svarim of Chumash, and try to get a sense for the totality of the Sefer and not just focus on the individual parshios. And I'd like to explain and go through what the Ramban says in terms of understanding Sefer Shemos. The Ramban starts off by explaining that Sefer Shemos obviously begins with the Galus of Klal Yisrael going down to Mitzrayim, and the idea is to end with the Geula of the Jewish people returning back to Eretz Yisrael. The Ramban explains Galus Eino Nishlam Ad Yom Shuva El Makoman, that the Galus will not be complete until Klal Yisrael is able to return back to their place in Eretz Yisrael, that they can return back to the lofty ways of their ancestors. Says the Ramban that despite them leaving Mitzrayim in the beginning of Shemos and Parshas B'Shalach, nevertheless, the story does not end there because they're still considered as if they're in Galus, because they are still not in Eretz Yisrael. Finally, says the Ramban, Shabal Har Sinai Vasu Mishkan V'Shava Kadosh Baruch Hu V'Shri Shchinasa B'Neiim Az Shavu El Malas Avosam. However, once they came to Har Sinai, then they received the Torah. They were Zechut to be back in the Mala of Osam, and the Ramban goes on to explain that the reason why Shemos ends with the building of the Mishkan in Parshas Vayakal Pekudei, that is the climax of Sefer Shemos, because that's when Klal Yisrael is considered as if they have been redeemed. So we start with the Galus, and then we end with the Geula. And one could ask a very simple question, that a very beautiful idea that there is a sense of Geula in building in the Mishkan. However, it seems to be contradictory because the Ramban himself begins his introduction and his commentaries by saying that the reason why Klal Yisrael is not considered redeemed after they leave Mitzrayim physically is because they have not yet returned to Eretz Yisrael. So it appears to be that for the Ramban that Eretz Yisrael represents an opportunity to be Mekayim the mitzvah of the Mishkan itself. That the same way when Klal Yisrael created a Mishkan and was able to fulfill the idea of Asuli Mikdash V'Shachanti B'Socham, where they were able to have a central place for the Shekhinah to be in their lives, that has a similar theme and a similar idea as being in Eretz Yisrael itself. And by doing so, Klal Yisrael were not only removing themselves physically from Mitzrayim, but able to spiritually go back to the same level as they were when they were in Yisrael, b'mala avosam, and therefore it makes sense that the Sefer Shemos is known as Hagalus v'Hageula, the Galus being down in Mitzrayim, the Geula being hopefully, ideally to be back in Eretz Yisrael, but in context of the Sefer, it is the opportunity to go fulfill the mitzvah of Asili Mikdash B'Shachanti B'Socham. And I think it's a very powerful idea for all of us that no matter where we may be, that we have the opportunity to be nigal, we have the ability to be redeemed, so to speak, as long as we create an environment where we can fulfill Asili Mikdash B'Shachanti B'Socham, as able to infuse our lives with a place for the Shekhinah to be, and hopefully be able to do so. That will be a zechut for all Chayalim and all Klal Yisrael, and that will be able to win the war very, very soon. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.